Listen, man. So coming off last year, bro, it was like we had put out the podcast, just kind of see how we just felt it. We're trying to put something out, test the water, see what it was like, and then all of a sudden, we caught momentum. Things started growing around us. Things started getting bigger. Things started getting better. And so now here we come into season 2, man. A whole new squad in place. We got some workers, bro.
Got a good squad around this, man. Great group of people, man. Encouraging, like-minded, hardworking. There's no more sandwich making anymore, man.
Listen, man.
We went out of the sandwich making business. We gave that back to Subway.
Yeah, bro. Exactly. I was looking at some voice memos, or some little memos I wrote rather, a year ago, and I was just reflecting because I like to reflect, over a period of time to measure growth. I was looking at a prayer I had wrote a year ago, and I was praying. I said, Lord, I need a high performance team. And so what's been happening lately, man, it's answered prayers. It's God honoring the faith and the commitment and the work that you put in.
Yeah.
So we want to introduce the producer on the show. Guy came in, just jiggling some keys. Guy said he's got the keys, man. He's the man with the keys. He's the one that's gonna open it up, unlock it, expand it, help expand it, take it to another level with the production. And his name is Sammy Keys. Sammy the Bull. That's how we're coming. Sammy the Bull. I thank God for this. He's my brother. We've been knowing each other, I guess, for the last few months. I don't know, the last 6 months, something like that. But just hit it off from the beginning, and he's just come in and, is an added element, a much needed element to this podcast, but to the work that we're doing here through the church and everything that we're doing. So I want to just introduce him. He's going to be a voice that you're going to be hearing on the podcast, but we're doing things collective. We're putting a network together, so we can all communicate a certain message, because we're about doing the work. We're not out here to be talking. We're out here to be doing it. So he's a definite doer of the word. And so I just want to introduce Sam Keys to the show. How you feeling, Sam?
I'm feeling great. Like, I guess, this is like the season 2, the 2.0, the upgrade.
Yeah,
upgraded with video and everything, So I'm just glad I can contribute to this, because this was a huge impact on my life, listening to the first season of The Fruit of Discipline, It honestly changed my life. I think I've, told you that a couple of times now, where how happy I was listening to that, and how much it made me realize, like, especially the traumatized episode. Dude, that's my favorite episode. Like, I want to suggest a trauma 2.0 episode, because it's like, bro, that's so big in today, bro. And like, looking back on my life, I was like, dude, I really did just like use trauma as a crutch and everything. Yeah. That's a huge one. But yeah, dude, the podcast changed my life. So I was like, wow, I get to be a part of this now. Like, a lot of people don't get that opportunity, So I'm pretty ecstatic to be here.
Listen, man, that's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
Because we just wanted to come and put something together, but that's what we wanted to do, right? To try to flip a switch, get people to think different, in a whole different direction, take accountability, stop looking for the easy way out, get rid of the crutches. We wanted to get them, it's like that Forrest Gump scene.
Yeah. He just runs and his braces just start falling off.
Exactly.
Never stopped running.
Exactly.
Just kept going, man. But yeah, it's great for the team that we got now, season 2, upgraded, elevated. So great things going to be coming from this season. And again, like we said, it's what we wanted to accomplish. Even if it's just one person, is just changing their mindset and seeing that you can't use those crutches. You have a weak mindset. You basically do kind of think that you're never gonna win. You're stuck in a loser mentality, but you gotta just flip that switch and change your thinking and become the best authentic version of yourself.
You're so right. And, you get out what you put in.
Yep.
That's the reality of it. And a lot of times people don't want to put the work in because they're not seeing immediate results. It takes time. It takes time to see some fruit. And so that's why, this podcast, that's what it's about. It's about discipline. It's about doing what is necessary until that time of fruit comes. And it's living with what real faith really is. Because it's not just believing in something. Yes, it's believing in yourself, but more so it's believing in God. And it's having hope and putting work to match that. And next thing you know, you start to see these things manifest. And it's, it's more than worth the work that you had to put in.
Yes, and when I always talk about it, I talk about once I rebuilt my relationship with my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, my whole mindset switched. I was no longer the emotional loser mindset, woe is me type person. I became a more confident, more stoic in a way as well, where I didn't let things bother me because they ultimately didn't align with my vision. So why am I going to give it any time of day? It doesn't deserve my time of day. I just let it slide. And I'm just thankful that the Lord has guided me in that way, in touching me and providing me peace, providing clarity, allowing me the ability to brush a lot of things off where I used to use that stuff as a crutch and use it to my emotions to take over my actual desire to achieve what's I need to achieve in this world.
Yeah, so you're right. So it's great to hear, someone like Sam say that and, have a desire to, help build, what we started, right? And I think that's something in itself. Just use what you have.
Yeah.
Do what you can do and see what doesn't come from that. Keep the pure intentions and know that things are going to go back and forth. See, they're going to go back and forth like a seesaw.
Yeah.
And so it's about staying consistent. I think when you're talking about the stoic perspective, it's so real to executing a vision because you got to get the emotions out the way. Emotions is what's going to keep you on the bed. Emotions is going to keep you from stepping out because of some insecurity. Emotions, we got to get out of our emotions. The word of God will tell you to get out your emotions, get out your feelings.
Yeah, and that's the truest thing right now. I feel people are still more so than the past years are really attached to emotions and like, oh, that what you said hurt me, and it's accepted in life right now where you have to watch what you say around people, which I get. Like, you don't want to go around saying horrible things, but when you can't even say like, oh, you're not good at that, or no, I don't think you should be playing on the team. This sport's not for you, or something like that. Next thing you know, your coaching job's on the line or something because you hurt someone's feelings because everyone needs a participation award. And just get out your feelings, let the emotions go. And if you do have emotions, take a break. Think about it. Analyze that. Why are you feeling that way in this certain situation? Does this actually mean, is that thing so important that it's going to affect you from achieving your goal that you have set for yourself? If it doesn't, just kick it. I know it may be hard at the beginning, but eventually you just got to kick all that stuff to the side and just keep moving forward.
Exactly. People have a fairy tale idea of God, a fairy tale idea of, their own lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have these big aspirations, but we don't want to do anything to achieve them, to earn them. We want them to just come to us easily. That's not the way things happen. You got to do something. You have to get up, and you have to be willing to push past words. Like what you're saying, people are not open to criticism. You say one thing constructive. I'm not talking about, just a critic. Everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah.
And some people will say stuff to tear you down, and some people are saying stuff to help you, but you can't, anytime someone brings anything to your attention, you can't take correction. You get angry. Well, you got a pride issue. You need to humble yourself. And that's the thing, because if you don't humble yourself, you're going to get humbled.
Yeah,
life will humble you. Yeah, God will humble you.
Yeah.
So just humble yourself.
Yeah, you want to humble yourself first, because you don't want God to humble you. Because that's going to either one be a painful thing, a sad thing, or an embarrassing thing. It's not going to be a pretty thing if God has to humble you. Because he's giving you so many opportunities. He has a guidebook in the Bible on how to be humble, basically. So, like, if you don't want to follow that, and he has to actually humble you, you're going to regret it. Like, it's going to be tough, and it's going to take some time to recover from that. And
that's why, you got to follow the Jesus lifestyle. We people talk about his words and all that, but his words were powerful because of the strength of the one that was speaking those words.
He embodied what he was speaking.
And it was demonstrated through servitude, demonstrated in humility. He forsook the things of the world. And in that, he inherited the power of the kingdom. And so when you talk about having a vision for your life, it starts in a spiritual place. It exists, whatever it is that you want from life, or you want that you feel is going to give you a certain type of feeling to make you feel better. It exists. It already exists. It exists in your mind. It exists in the invisible. But to bring it forth, you got to step out in faith. And that requires you to not just believe something, but you work according to that belief. You live as if you already have it. You live doing what is necessary to obtain and sustain that thing.
Yeah, and most people in life, like you mentioned earlier, they want just quick results, and that's why most people give up on visions, because they want people cheering them the whole entire time. They want someone beside them the whole entire time. And if most of the time, if you really have a true vision in life, you're gonna realize you're gonna be alone most of the time.
Oh yeah.
Not everyone's going for the ride. Not everyone's gonna put in the work, because it's not their vision. So why are they gonna really be side by side with you? It may go hand in hand, but they're going to focus on themselves.
Exactly. And the crazy thing about it is they don't want to submit to your vision, but they don't even have a vision for themselves.
Yeah.
And you have a vision that God's blessing, but because of failure to humble themselves, you miss out on something. Okay, and you want to get a vision, you say, I don't have a vision. Okay, start giving more and doing more than you ever did before. You want God to open up your vision, go and serve somebody else's vision. Show that you can serve before you can lead. That's really what it is, because when whatever it is that you're trying to put together or trying to build, no one's going to go harder for it than you. No one's going to love it as much as you love it. No one's going to give their blood, sweat, and tears to it like you are. See, that's why when I think about Christ, that's what he gave it all, man. Blood, sweat, and tears, bro.
He never strayed from the vision. He never backed down. Even though he was tempted, he could have easily just said, I don't want this. And still been powerful. Still had everything. But
because you're given a choice.
Yeah, and he just stayed focused on what he was supposed to do.
You're always given a choice. How bad do you want it? How much are you willing to sacrifice for it? What are you willing to give up within yourself so that you can propel to the next level?
Yeah. And just going back to like how you're going to be alone most of the time on your vision, when you're working on it, when you're going through stuff. But that's only for a certain time. Just like how Sam was brought in. God's going to send people that's going to encourage you. That's going to help you when you feel like you plateaued and you can't go further. If you're walking in faith and you're walking aligned in the vision that was given to you by God, he's going to send people to help you out eventually.
Exactly. He aligns these people who all see the same thing.
Yeah.
are seeing in the same direction. There's something that's bigger than this, that's working the pieces together. That's how I know. I just trust in God at this point and do what he's telling me to do, because the proof is in the pudding, man. And that's what I'm starting to see now, with the people that have come on board. What I love about the vision is they've bought into the vision. Everything we're doing in the church, everything we're doing with the pantry, everything that we're doing, even with this, the media and the direction that we're going in, they've bought into it, and they're using their gifts and their abilities to expand it, to help it. You know what I'm saying? So it is that they're coming to learn, but in reality, they're coming to bless, to give, because my job as the pastor is to what? Get the gifts and the abilities and whatever's in there and bring it out for the ministry, for the work, for everything that we're putting together. And so, it's an awesome thing, man, when we talk about this vision and moving forward. In the vision is you got to have people who are all thinking the same and working towards the same goal.
Yes, exactly. You got to be careful. You may not trust them at first, because at the same time, God's sending you people. The enemy's going to send people to you to see if you're going to break. You got to get tested too. You're going to be tested on both sides. Are you going to fold? Are you going to stand on what you believe in? Are you going to stand on that? And most of the times, people, like you said, you have a choice which direction you're going to go. Most of the time, people are going to take that easy route and fold instead of just working through it, having the long view, the long suffering, and that's where I guess you just got to stay in touch with God in prayer, trust Him, read His Word, because it's all going to be dropped into you, and then you'll know which direction to take if you're aligned with that. The Word and everything's going to align to your vision.
Right.
And you'll know when the enemy's coming up against you. You're going to know, like, nah, this person's not, I can't let him in. I can't let this person in. They may have something you need, but you can't let them fully into what you're trying to accomplish.
And the key is this: you got to stay disciplined. You got to stay disciplined. You got to stay vigilant. But you just got to trust in the Lord. You do the best you can, and you trust in the Lord. Because one thing I know, people, you want to take some of the sauce. Okay, cool, but you don't know how to cook it up.
Yeah.
You didn't see where it came from. You didn't see what it was birthed out of. You don't see where it's going. You might want to take a little piece here and there, but you don't understand. This is what I have and what you have, God has for you. Just trust and obey the voice of God. And so it's all about staying disciplined, staying focused, staying committed, watching, praying, and in everything you do, you remain humble. And when you achieve, you give glory to God.
Yes, definitely give Him all the glory for anything you achieve, any little milestone. Even if you don't think it's big, give Him the glory, because God's going to appreciate that. That's what God loves, is the appreciation that you give Him and realizing it's because of Him that you even accomplished that. It's not because of you. It's because of Him that you're able to do the things you're able to do. Just like you said about the people trying to steal a little bit of you, but that's where you should really outline your vision, like your goals. You have a plan. You set it up, because you're going to see someone else doing it, what you're trying to do. You're going to get jealous. You're going to get envious, and you're going to try to copy that person. But you guys aren't built the same. You don't have that same DNA. You don't have the same genetics. You don't have the same mindset. So you may not be able to do what that person is doing, and you're going to fail, and you're going to fall off and delay yourself about 5 years instead of just focusing on what you needed to focus. So that's why it's best to outline everything right in front of you, so you never stray from your path. You just keep moving forward.
Yeah, you got to stay in your own lane. You got to keep your blinders on. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. If you have the vision, that means you can see it. You can't see it with your physical eye. Okay, you have to see it in the spirit.
Yes.
You have to visualize it. You have to imagine it. Then you got to believe it. You got to believe that it's possible. Then you got to put a plan together. And then every day it's going out and getting it. Every day it's doing something that's going to help bring that thing from the invisible into the visible.
Yeah, and I think that's where people are afraid to look into the whole planning thing, because they're not even sure what they need to accomplish, because they're just like, oh, I can just do this whenever. They think time's on their side. Time is not on your side. Time is not promised to anybody.
Right.
So that's why it's best to just make sure you're working on something every single day that aligns to what you want to accomplish and what you're supposed to accomplish. But the reason why you were sent here, because everyone's sent here for a purpose, and some people struggle to find that purpose. But it's like you said, most of them just wanted to come to them. Most of those people are out there serving other people, are helping someone else establish their vision, and then within that, you're gonna find out what you're truly loving. You may find out you may love the same thing as that same person that you're helping out, but you never even knew it because you didn't even want to step out and try something. You just wanted to wait for someone to say, this is what you're designed to do. You do this. It's never gonna happen.
That's right. I think the thing that attracts, when you talk about building a team, is you have to be practicing what you're preaching. You got to embody the vision. That's why I say every day you have to do it as if you already have it. And the key is, don't just work to get it. You got to work to keep it. And working to keep it, you got to work harder to keep it than you did to get it. It's hard to keep. It's hard to sustain. It's hard to manage. But when you do these things naturally, see, everybody just wants to hit the lottery, bro. And they had known nothing about money, managing money, let alone money on that level. You got to know what you're doing because you want to be able to keep it. You want to be able to sustain it. A lot of these people, they can't keep it or end up dead.
Yeah, or they just gave it to the wrong person to invest it for them, and that person just took off with their money because they thought they could trust the person. But you gotta know everyone's true intentions. You really gotta really seek out knowing people, and not just on a friend level. You really gotta have some deep conversations with people, and you have to be in some tough situations with people to see if they're gonna crack or not. Because a lot of people will be some of your closest friends, but when pressure gets applied, they break, and you're just there wondering what happened. I thought I could trust this person with my life, and
well, that's what it is.
Left alone.
Well, that's what it is, bro. That's what it is. Pressure reveals everything. It reveals your character, and it reveals the character of the people around you. You want to know who's with me, who's not with me? Okay, step up the pressure. Take it to another level. You're going to soon see who's there with you and who's not with you.
Yeah. That's why people look at like champion mindset people, where they say, oh, they have a killer instinct. It's good to have that killer instinct because it's going to see who's going to be there when you need someone. Who's going to be there by my side that's going to be there to go through the tough battle with me. That's why I thank God for the friends that I do have in my life that I know that are going to be there for me, from some coworkers that I have at work to people I call my brothers that aren't even really blood related to me, but they're there for me. I know if I need something, this person's going to be there for me no matter what, and I'll be there for them. I'll lay my life on the line for them, and they would do the same for me as well. And that's why you really have to examine your circle, especially nowadays I just feel with the change in the world, the way people think, the way the world seems softer, you really have to examine your circle now, because when pressure comes up, a lot of those close people may fold, and you don't want to be standing alone at the end of the day.
And you know what it does, though, also? Pressure reveals the ones that are not sold out or not really on board with you, but it also reveals the ones that are on the same thing. You see what I'm saying? It makes those relationships more meaningful, more impactful, right? That's why, when I look around with the team that we have here in place now, I realized, there's things that I can do on my own, and you always do what you can do on your own. But then you have others who come in where now it's like, I realize, listen, if we work together, we can make this a whole lot bigger, a whole lot better. But it takes that initial ability to humble yourself, to allow someone to come in. You see that people have done you wrong, but you can't let it scar you or mess you up to the point where you won't trust anybody again, to where you develop trust issues, because that's going to affect you and everything else that you're doing. Every relationship that you come into, it's going to be right there haunting you, and it's going to start to affect you in your decision to step out again, because it's like, I don't know if they're going to have my back. I don't know who's going to do, but you can't worry about that. Do what you can do. Worry about yourself. Stop worrying about what everybody's doing, everybody's not doing. What are you doing? What are you doing with your situation? What are you doing to manifest? That's the word, to manifest this vision, this desire, this dream that you have for yourself.
And I agree with you. Like you said, why are you worried about anyone else? If they're there to help you with your vision, why are you worrying about what they're doing? Because no one should want this more than you. So they're not gonna break their back to try to live out your vision. They're gonna do what they can. That's all they're gonna do. And then I did what I could.
Exactly.
This isn't even my vision. I'm just here to help. People will throw their hands up. They're not gonna want to go and learn more stuff to try to help you. They're just gonna really do what they have. And so that's why you have to be the one that's gonna be there. Long nights, long days, early mornings. Like you said, blood, sweat, tears. You're gonna have to put in more work than anybody else on your vision. Even though you may have you have a team around you, but it's your vision. You gotta go for it. Your team's just there to help you. You gotta take the shot. They're just there to rebound if you miss, and support you back when you need to get back up. That's what they're there for. You're the main guy in that one, so you have to take the shot. You have to walk in faith. You have to put all the work in, mostly. And I don't think a lot of people want to be that guy. They just want everyone else to do it, and they get the glory, and they're just there. Like, look what I did. I accomplished this, and then they forget about everyone that helped them.
What do you think, Sam? Coming into this work, into this ministry, seeing the vision, what are your feelings coming into it, supporting a vision, adding to a vision?
I think whatever you said about, you got to live the life kind of thing, because that's facts. Because about to be out of the U.S. Army, and I've had a lot of leaders. We had a lot of visions. I had a lot of leaders with a lot of visions. And watching hypocritical leaders is downright frustrating, because it's like it's your vision. Like, I'm working for you. I don't care about this. Like, yeah, we got to get this mission done. It's important, but it's important to you because it's for your evaluation, not for mine. Like, this has nothing to do with me. And watching those leaders constantly go against what they say, like the Army loves to talk about servant leadership, It's a huge thing in the Army. And it's super frustrating watch these servant leaders be like, oh, he wants physical training off the day after change of quarters. Oh, that's a bunch of Army lingo, but no, I didn't get that, so they don't get that. That kind of mentality of like, oh, well, if I didn't get it, well, then they don't get it. Now, coming into this is completely different, because I remember, we're talking about humility today. One of the best pieces of advice you gave me, David, was to keep yourself from getting a big head. Just give all the glory to God, because whenever somebody gives you a compliment, just be like, oh, glory to God, bro.
All right.
Don't take it for yourself. Don't take it. You don't get that gratitude. You don't get that gratification. I mean, the Lord gets the gratitude, bro. And so that was the best advice. Just hearing that was such a breath of fresh air, and I was 100% in, like, the moment I heard that, bro.
Oh man, that's awesome. And what I like is this. It's true. You get the blessing. He gets the glory. You want the blessing and the glory. That's the problem. You're robbing him. He gave you the blessing, because that's what I know of. Anything, any achievement I've had or anything that God has done in my life, it's just because I've obeyed.
Yeah.
It's just because I listened to him, and he has given me the most fulfilling things. by giving me a vision. That moves me more than anything, because it's your purpose. It's how you serve him. And it's like, to me, what quality of work do you want to present to God?
That's true. People come and think mediocrity is good. That's good enough. Like, no, I tried. But no, you got to give your best at everything. If you truly love it, you got to give your best at everything you put out there. It's your job. If you're in the gym, if you're into writing, if you're into speaking, you got to want to be the best at what you're doing, because again, you're living your life for the person that gave you your purpose in life. It's not for you. Like you said, you're going to get the blessing, but if you're trying to get the glory too, I don't know, man. People need to be careful with trying to be greedy with the blessing that God's giving you. If we had that situation where, I had budgeted for something, someone tried to give me more money off. I told them no, and everyone was shocked that I wouldn't take the discount. I'm like, no, I was already blessed with this opportunity. I'm not going to get greedy with it and take more from it, because it's a test as well. Like, how are you going to test?
That's true.
How are you going to be when I bless you? Are you going to try to take a little more, or are you just going to wait for the next one?
Exactly. And that's why, you talk about having pure intentions, and you got to love what you do. So what Sam is talking about, with these leaders that, not really living up to a certain standard, it's like, you don't love what you do. If you love what you do, you give everything, and that's the way we have to live. When you talk about doing everything as unto the Lord, you do it to the best of your ability. Why? Because in doing so, God is able to bless you. That's his desire. There's a reason he's telling you to do something. There's a reason why you are where you are. God wants you to succeed. He wants you to thrive. And in that, you start, when you start to recognize that it's him, you just submit. It's a humbling process. When you get to know God, God will humble you. Even if you think you're the most humble of persons, just you don't know until you come into a certain knowledge of Christ. When he's manifested himself in your life. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what it's all about. It's all about having a vision, and your vision always has to involve somebody else.
Yes. Your vision, even though it's your vision, it's meant to help other people find their visions. It's helped to maybe find their purpose. And like you said, it's a servitude, going into a life of servitude. You got to look, how is my vision going to serve people?
Adding to the world, right? Your vision adds to the world.
And that's
it's supposed to be a blessing to the world.
And that's why you want to talk to people. You want to have people around you when you're doing this stuff, because as they're blessing you, you're blessing them, and then they're blessing someone else, they're blessing someone else. Blessings are just going out to everyone. Nothing's being held back. It's God working through everyone and getting all this glory, and his kingdom's being built greater. But people want to just be like, that's my vision. Stay out of it. Stay in your lane. This is you can't handle this. You can't handle what I'm trying to do. Well, you don't even know what you're trying to do. You just talked a real good game, but you haven't put anything in action.
Exactly. It's all about you. There's no unity there. There's no desire to work together. It's all about what you can get out of it. But, servant leadership is that. It's unity, working together and showing you while I'm doing it, as I'm doing it, learning more from what I'm saying, or learning more by doing than what I'm saying. Because like we talk about, you could talk a big game. You could talk about what you're going to do and how you're going to do it until you're actually in that situation.
Yeah. Lights come on. You're nowhere to be found. It's game time.
Oh, bro. And listen, you got to go through the fire.
Yeah.
What kind of vision do you want? Your vision has to be tested and tried and proved by fire.
It has to scare you, man. Your visions and dreams have to scare you, or else you say you're not dreaming big enough. Most people say, oh, my vision's just to go to college and graduate. Very basic. Why not try to exceed where you go to college? Why not strive for excellence? Just like God's our Father, man. And most parents want excellence from their children. They want their children to do things great. He wants the same things for us. So how are you going to expect your child to be excellent and do great things, and you're not even living up to what God expects from you?
That's the selfish mentality. You want to say something, Sam?
No, honestly, I was just checking the battery on the camera.
Oh, okay. No, it's true. In that you show that your vision is not long. It's not long view because you're just focused about yourself. You're not thinking about the next generation. You're not thinking about the future. You're living in what you can get right now, how you can get it right now. All of feeding yourself, feeding your ego, because that's really what people are doing. When you have this false desire for the world, you're just feeding your ego.
And it's true. Like, people not thinking about the next generation. Like, I don't have kids right now, but I'm still long viewing. How am I going to leave a legacy for, let's say, my family? Because I have nieces and nephews. How can I leave a legacy for them to pass on? They can carry on. How about my friends' children that I call brothers? How can I leave it to them? Help leave a legacy for them to build on? So, again, people just look at, they put a vision into a small box, not realizing that's not your purpose. God didn't give you a small box. God, look how big the earth is. Mm-hmm. That's your purpose.
Bro, and just work your thing. Work your thing, bro. And that's what happens. You begin to inspire others. Right? It's for the world. If it's not, providing something natural, it should be providing inspiration, encouragement. You gotta, understanding a vision is understanding your role within that vision, understanding your limitations. I can get more out of something when I understand my limitations and bring someone in that's an expert in an area that I'm weak, and be able to trust that person that you do your job. I don't have to sit here and micromanage and try to do your job. I want to be able to trust you to do your job.
Yeah.
It's that Michael Jordan mindset, right?
Like, you better just be ready. When I pass you the ball, you better be ready. You got to be ready. It's not like pass the ball and you're looking already to pass it back. No, you better be ready to do something.
Oh, all the time. That's why you got to be ready when the lights come on. We had like 10 intros to this episode already because I'm just on. And it's like, we're just setting up a camera. I already went. Now the audio's not set up. They start working on this. I just keep going. I just keep firing all cylinders because it's go time.
Yeah.
It's go time.
Every time's go time, man. Whenever you step into action, to movement, to what you're trying to do. Even as soon as you step to the front door, it's go time. What do I got to do? What do I need to be? What I got to be? You got to be looking where you're needed at that time. And I just wanted to go back about inspiring someone else. So a lot of people are afraid to talk about their failures and their trauma and their setbacks because they're afraid of people judging them. But you need to tell those stories. The world needs to hear that story because there's someone just like you going through something similar to you that doesn't know how to get through it and doesn't believe there's a way to get through it. So you have to go ahead. You have to share that testimony. You have to let them know that there is a way out of this. Mm-hmm. You can get out of this. So just cut the woe is me attitude.
Yeah, you got to take authority. That's how you take authority over your past experiences, your past trauma, is by empowering other people with the experiences that you've had. That's how you conquer. That's how you overcome it. When you start seeing people, able to get to a shortcut because of what you told them, you see them avoid the pitfalls that you had because you gave them some encouragement. That goes a long way for you in the way that you're serving society, you're serving humanity, because now you got this individual, he's not going to carry the same trauma you had. You know what I mean? You gave him a shortcut.
Yeah.
So now you got to go do something else. You got to go do that for somebody else.
But that's the way they say you truly heal. Is you find someone that suffers from the same thing that you suffered from, and you fix them. You heal yourself by healing this person. And people are afraid to admit that, which is weird. Like, I'm not too sure. Like, yeah, you may get emotional speaking, and as a man, you don't want to cry, maybe. But I'll tell you, I break down every time I have to talk about my mom.
Yeah.
But someone needs to hear that. You know, someone needs to hear that you can still make it.
Yeah.
Without that.
Yeah. See, that's the power of giving. The power in giving. When you're doing, that ride is more fulfilling. When you're giving, it's more fulfilling than you taking in. But so many of us are afraid of letting go. We're hoarding things. Because look how cool I am. Look how special I am with these new Jordans on. Look how cool I am with this new outfit that just ran me $300 in the hole.
No, now I gotta worry about the lights getting cut off.
You look good. Hold on. Exactly. You look good, but are you good? Are you really good? You just want to look good. You just want to impress. And that's the problem. You're living somebody else's vision.
Yeah.
You're living somebody else's life, or you're living trying to keep up with somebody else. And that's why you're miserable. But once you start giving of yourself and you start following the direction that God's compelling you in, the more you give, the more fulfilled you are. That's how, because God's the one filling you up. He's the one giving you the peace and the joy, even through your suffering. That's why you have to embrace it. You have to embrace suffering. Stop running from the fire. Stop running from it. You got to embrace that, and you got to just stay calm and trust in the Lord and do what you're supposed to be doing. And you realize that it's in the fire that's where God birthed things through.
Yeah. And most, like I said, I guess it's just the way the world switched, like within the last 10 years, man. It's just a softer generation now where they get everything handed to them.
Bro, okay, so it has been that, but I feel like especially in the last couple of years, bro.
Yeah.
Everything has gone super soft. Can't say anything, can't do anything. Got to just accept everything that every person is saying about themselves. And it's like, no, that's not the case. That's your reality.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got a vision, you don't live in a distorted reality. You come to realize that the spiritual space is actually more real than this natural place. And that you reflect what's going on in the invisible. You are the product of all of your negative thoughts.
I say, man, people don't realize the power of the mind, man, and like how much it really controls who you are. If you're just thinking negative the whole time, you're just gonna be a negative person. That's just plain and simple. If you wake up every morning saying like, why did I wake up? You're gonna be in for a shock one day. You're not gonna wake up, and then you're probably gonna regret ever saying that. But but people just love negativity. People love the playing victim mindsets, and like you said, it's just been the past couple of years where all this has just become acceptable. It's not acceptable. Where a man cannot be a man, he can't be himself. He has to tiptoe around certain things when he needs to let his masculinity show. Men need to be men. Facts. Women need to be women. A man doesn't need to act like a woman, and a woman doesn't need to act like a man. And that's
exactly right.
That's what's stopping people from living their true calling, is because they're tiptoeing around who they really truly are. If you're a man, be a man. Own everything. Own your mistakes. Own your faults. But own your wins as well. Don't be afraid to celebrate yourself because they're going to say it's toxic masculinity. Stand up for what you believe in. Stand on that. You won. You put the work in. Celebrate yourself. Who cares if they don't like it? As long as you're not hurting anybody, killing anybody, and you're not breaking any commandments of the Lord, do it.
What's up, man? What's up, Sammy?
Bro.
You feeling the fire, bro?
Okay, talking about the softness of the last, I'd say the last 5-6 years. Talk about the lack of humility.
Yeah.
Bro. It's to the point where people want to be like, yo, I gotta be this pronoun because the ones we got for the last 2,000 years didn't work for me because they didn't fit my narrative, because it's my truth. Dude, I can't stand that my truth garbage, bro. Oh, well, that's my truth. It's like, bro.
But what about my truth?
Yeah.
What about the real truth?
Your truth don't matter. That's the thing, bro. That's the thing.
Exactly. And it's the thing. It's the excuses. Because I give you an excuse, and I'm giving you an excuse, and everyone's got an excuse to act the way they act, but they don't got a real reason for why they're standing on what they're standing. You know what I mean? It just comes back to, well, that's the way that I feel, and that's the problem. That's the reason you're having the problems you have. You keep responding to reacting to how you feel.
Yeah, you're not thinking. You're just acting. You're reacting. You're not responding. You're just reacting to how you're acting, like how your feelings are guiding you.
Facts.
And you even look at it. It's even to the crime. It's soft on crime, as well. People are afraid to punish people because that's not how they're identified. They have to go here. They can't go into this prison. They can't do this. Oh, you know what? It was a heat of passion, in the heat of the moment. Their emotions got to them. We should go a little softer on them. No, man, you broke a law. You deserve to be punished. Like people are afraid of that, man.
You do the crime, as my uncle said. You do the crime, you play with the clown. That's just the best way to put it. You do the crime, you play with the clown. And so, look, we don't want to be clowns. No, we gotta be about our Father's business.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's about legacy, long-term vision, a vision that's going to continue to operate longer than I will from a natural standpoint. When I'm long and gone, the name lives on, the work lives on, the vision lives on. That's what it's all about. And you hope that the generation, they come, you throw the vision up, and they come and they dunk with it.
Yeah.
The highlight reel.
And I think as parents as well, though, I can't really speak since I don't have a kid, but as a parent, you should want your child to build on your legacy instead of just accepting that that's where the legacy ends. Because most you look at most legacies, they're kind of stopping right now because those people just accept it. Like, oh, I got this from they try to live off their grandfather's glory or their grandfather's money, their grandpa's work, great grandpa's work, and then they don't do any work themselves. And they expect everyone to be like, oh yeah, you're great. You haven't done anything. Your great grandpa was great. You are just someone living off of his hard work.
Right. No, man, listen, you gotta stop accepting these excuses that society is giving you. Everybody's just taking hold to every and any excuse. And in doing that, you're trying to take an L and you're trying to act like it's a W. and it's not a W, and in the long run, it's really going to hurt you. It's really going to be worse off because you've accepted that. Stop accepting mediocrity. Stop accepting and calling it a victory because you showed up. Show up and do something. Don't just show up. A lot of people show up, but do you perform? Can you perform under the lights? Can you perform when everybody's watching you? Can you perform under the pressure? Can you be that same dog? Matter of fact, a real dog, a person with a champion mentality, you get better in those moments.
Yeah, you don't even notice the lights. You don't even notice the crowd. You're just there to do what you've already been doing, what you practice doing, what you put in work to do. You don't even realize there's so many people around looking at you. It's just natural because you perfected it. You put in the work. You owned your craft.
Yeah.
You became so well at it that there's nothing that's going to apply any pressure. You want that situation because there's no pressure on you at all and you know you're going to sink it.
Right. You have to prepare yourself for those moments. And I feel like you just have to keep putting yourself in the fire. You just have to keep making yourself uncomfortable. And ultimately what happens, whatever field that you're in, you start to excel because you're willing to go further. You're willing to go harder. You're willing to do the most. And in that, all God says, hey, just give me the glory. And the more you do that, God said, now I can really take you to another level because you've owned it. You realize I didn't get here by myself. God blessed me, but he used other people to bless me. He used other people to add into the vision to bless me. But all of us are being blessed. All of us are growing because we're connected to God. Another thing I'm going to say, and we're going to start getting ready to wrap it up here, and we could talk on this for a little bit. When you put forth a vision or you put forth a plan to execute the vision, you got to understand that it's not going to happen the way you want it to happen. And so you have to be able to adapt. You have to be willing to adjust to the change. You can't just keep everything the same. You got to be able to change something up, and you got to be willing to step into other roles if need be.
Yeah, and that's I believe there was something like a quote where it's like never change the vision, just change the plans to the vision, because you have to adjust. The vision's always going to stay the same, just how you're going to go about it is going to be different. Because let's say it's, I don't know, let's say trying to make t-shirts, you know, maybe y'all don't agree on everything, you know, things fall out, someone falls out, you don't like a design, something like that, everyone leaves. You may be stuck learning how to make a design, print it, put it out yourself, where you thought you had a team to support you, but ultimately you never gave up on your vision. You just had to change how you went about reaching that vision until, like you said, God's going to send the right person in there that's going to help you elevate that, where you're not going to have to do that anymore, but you're going to have to do that part until that happens.
Oh yeah, listen, the end goal, you see the vision, you see the house at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
You see where you're trying to get, or you see the tip at the mountain, but you're going to have to go through, you don't realize you're going to have to go through a lot of different things to get there. You're going to get there and you're going to prepare for certain conditions. It's going to be different. And so you have to adjust. The terrain may be a little different than what you thought it was. It looked different on the outside than it does on the inside. But the key is you have to be able to take a step back in the face of that adversity, look around at the pieces you have, bring them together, and move forward. That's really what it is. And so it's always reflective. You have to look forward, but you have to take a step back. You have to look at yourself. You have to examine your position. You can't let certain things affect your heart.
Yeah.
You can't let things affect your mind. You have to come back stronger. You have to come back better. And that's why I say when you start to look at the people around you that are there, that's really all you need, is the people that do believe in you, the people that are cheering you on or encouraging you along the way and holding you accountable. You know, calling an L an L, calling a W a W, calling a spade a spade.
Like, two slanted L's, the one backwards, and forming a W. No, you just caught two L's.
You got two L's and you're trying to make them look like a W.
Yeah. Trying to put that's the way it seems like nowadays, like just going back to it, you know. But yeah, I think a lot of people are afraid to analyze themselves because they're afraid of finding who they truly are and what's holding them back. They don't want to admit that they're wrong ever. But that analyzing, self-analyzation, you're gonna find out, like, man, I was a horrible person. How do I fix this?
You know what the hard part is? It's not even. I feel like people already know. It's just admitting it. You know all those feelings that you have. You know the thoughts that you have. You know the things you're doing behind the scenes and in the shadows. You know what you're doing when no one else is watching you. Admit it. Own it. Acknowledge it. I am doing those things. I am a chronic, person may be saying that I'm a chronic snoozer. I hit the snooze button every morning.
Like, yes, I am a chronic overeater. Own it.
Right.
But what are you going to do to fix it?
Hiding work because you're not doing work and they don't want you to find out that you're not doing work. Stop hiding work. Do the work.
Doing just busy, like busybody work.
Yeah,
you're just rearranging and it's making it seem like you're doing
exactly.
You're doing everything. I was like, oh man, this guy's doing stuff. No, he's just moving stuff around. It's not even accomplishing anything.
Exactly. You want to get rid of it? Do it. That's how you get rid of it.
Yeah.
By accomplishing the task. Don't try to erase it like it doesn't need to be done and push it off for somebody else to do it. You see what I'm saying? You got to do it.
Yeah. There's no pill that's going to help you get over that. Once you analyze it, that's like, oh, I'm just going to go to the doctor, give me a pill, and I'll forget about it. Things going to creep up on you all the time until you own it and you just correct it. And Everyone just wants a pill to take away everything. They want some form of drug just to take away. I don't have to worry about this. This will drown it out. Oh, this vice will do it. I don't have to think about that. Until that vice is gone and you're stuck there and that thing comes with more baggage.
Side effects.
Yep. Comes with the more baggage, and then you're trying to fight that baggage off, trying to fight those effects off, and now you just made yourself worse instead of just owning it and correcting it.
Yeah, people don't want to talk about the side effects. So you're trying to just apply something, you're trying to put a Band-Aid on a stab wound. No, you got to own that. You got to own that. You got to take accountability for that. All right, if someone backstabbed you, all right, cool. Don't let it happen again. You make the adjustment. If it's the same person keeps stabbing you,
that's you. You're the one making that choice. No one else to blame but you. You're allowing yourself to get backstabbed by the same person over and over and over again. I don't care how much you love them. Eventually, you got to break that off.
Right, because it becomes, at a certain point, it's like, are you trying to add or are you trying to take away? You want to see me win, or you're trying to help for me to lose? Like, where is this coming from? So that's why you have to just buy into your vision. I can't worry about who's going to snake me. I look and this and that. I can't live my life in fear of what a person is going to do. All I could do is focus on the task at hand. I know my heart, my intentions. I trust God in the things that I can't control. The things that I can't control, I do it to the best of my ability. Or I'm striving to do that. Am I altogether perfect and I do everything right? No. I'm a work in progress. But each and every day, I get better.
That's the goal. You just got to beat yourself from yesterday. That's all you got to do every day you wake up is how you're going to beat yourself from yesterday. And I like how you brought that up about bringing up people about the winning and losing aspect. Some people that are in your circle, your L is their W. They're waiting for you to lose so they can catch a W. So that's why you truly have to analyze who are you trusting yourself with as well. Like, is this person really about it? And I guess that's like going back to increasing the pressure because eventually they're going to show. But most people are looking for you to catch an L because it's going to be that W.
That's why you got to trust who you share the vision to, who you allow in your vision.
Yep.
There's some people, there's some people that are shaky and they say, okay, I don't like this. But there's other people say, how can I come and manipulate this?
Yep.
How can I come and create conflict here? How can I come in and destroy whatever this is? And there's a lot of, that's why you got to just stay disciplined, stay on your P's and Q's, always be watching, always be praying, because this opposition comes in a lot of different forms.
Yes, it does. That's why I always heard a woman will kill more dreams than anything else. So it goes down to it. Who are you giving your heart to as well?
That's true. It depends on the woman.
Yeah.
Right. A good woman is going to enhance it. She's going to help you to improve it. That's what we talk about a helpmate. A good woman can help you to manifest it. I know because I got a good woman.
Yeah.
Even coming to record over here. And listen, I'm not no simp. But I got a good woman that I love with all my heart. And it's like these are the things that fuel the vision.
See, but that's the thing though. That's who you have to be careful with, who you're gonna give that side of you to, that heart.
Right.
Because most people are just looking for an image. Who fits my image best, not who fits my vision best.
Yeah, people just out here using each other for clout.
Yeah, and so that's why you got to be careful, because if you're using a woman for clout, it's probably going to end up destroying your dreams.
Exactly.
So you got to find someone that sees you, understands your faults, but still sees what you are inside. That can actually kind of almost see who you truly are inside, and they want to get past the faults, and they want to help you become the person that they can see in you, that you are as well. And most people don't want to have those conversations. They just want to take pictures, look good for the Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. I got a pretty one next to me. I got a handsome one next to me. Whole time they're miserable. Whole time they're fighting. Whole time there's no increase. They're both just ruining each other's lives. And then everything else falls by the wayside. Trust issues, all this, and just goes into a hating world where I'm going to get these people back. I'm going to get the next dude back. I'm going to get the next girl back. Instead of just focusing on building with someone and growing with someone and building up everything.
You know, and that just goes speaking to relationships, right? Because relationships is supposed to be reciprocal.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to use, but to help one another. Just like I'm helping you, you helping me. Iron is sharpening iron, right? And we sharpen each other because we want what's best for each other. And sometimes that's telling us an encouraging word. And sometimes that's actually having to correct or, you know, challenge you in a certain perspective if you don't agree with certain behavior. Because the reality is this, you know, with what I'm seeing, putting this together, is you want to push everyone around you in the vision to give their best in the area that they're operating in.
Mm-hmm.
You got to find whatever it is that fuels that person and speak to it. You know, declare God's word to it to bring out that fire in it. You know, it's not about you. It's, you know, you're living here in this time and in this moment, but every day, you know, every second you're inching closer to your final destination, right? And so it's like you got to make the most of it. You can't live in fear. You can't give up because some people fumbled or some people dropped the ball. You have to keep moving forward. You know, you can't give up. That, you know, the Bible says, be not weary in well-doing, for in due season, at the right time, you're going to reap of a harvest if you don't faint, if you don't give up. So that's what your harvest is based upon. The fruit that you produce is based upon discipline. The vision, you're going to get it, but you need discipline to get there.
Yeah. And you have to discipline and you have to have work. Because if it was given to you all at once, you would mess it up. You wouldn't appreciate it. You wouldn't be grateful for what you've been given. So
right.
That's why you actually have to work for it, and you'll just get little pieces at a time.
Gratitude.
You can't be trusted with it all at once. Because as we say, this is coming from God. This blessing is coming from God. This vision is coming from God. This is your purpose. This is why he sent you to this world. So he already knows your heart. He already knows what you would do if you got everything all at once. He knows how it would turn you. So he has to build you up. He has to build the character in you, build the strength in you, and make sure that you're able to handle it when it all comes together.
You know, exactly. Because it's not just, like I said, getting it, it's sustaining it, but in the process, how do you feel? You're doing this and you're doing that and you got success here and you got, but how do you feel? Do you have peace? Can you sleep at night? How are your relationships? How are the people around you? How is your relationship with your wife and your children? And that's the thing we got to look at. That's what it's all about. I don't want to spend my life chasing all these natural things and meanwhile my wife despises me, my kids hate me. I don't want that type of thing. You know, I love my life this way because it's all about the work. It's all about the principles and the things that I'm learning along the way. It's all about this journey. You know, it's not always fun, but you learn how to embrace even the sufferings because that's where you see that strength is produced. The power of Christ resides in your place of suffering.
Yeah, it's agreed. So, how are the people in your lives? And I get the greatest joy of my life is when I'm helping people now. Like, I don't even care if I get any success from it. I just help people. Like, I enjoy it. I love helping people now. I love, how can I help someone? How can I help someone today? What can I do to help someone or bless their lives? I don't look at my life anymore. My purpose is not for me. My purpose is for everyone in this world and for them to see that the love of Christ in me and the trueness of me and how real I am, and I'm not faking anything. I'm here to help you. I want nothing from you. I just want you to know that Jesus loves you, and that's why I'm here helping you. That's right. My purpose.
That's awesome. You become that light. And this is the thing about the vision. You can see. So now help somebody else to see. And that's what it is. When you give someone a shortcut, you've helped them to see in that short period of time what it took you years to see and years to learn, years to identify. And so that's exactly what it is. That's where it comes down to, letting them see the light of Christ, because he's the one that gets us up. He's the one that moves us forward. He's the one that gives us inspiration. He's the one that opens up doors. He's the one that protects us from our enemies, reveals the schemes of the enemy. He's the one. So when you trust in him and you trust in his word and you let your vision be shaped by his word, because that's the key there. You want his word to shape your vision. Man, we just talked about that on Sunday, the manifestation and the blind man, Jesus, how he spit on the ground and anointed the man's eyes and shaped it. God's going to shape your vision. He's going to help you to see. But once you say, I can already see, I don't need anyone to help me to see.
What does he need to do?
Yeah, exactly. You're revealing that you're blind, and you will continue to stay blind. But when you want to see, that means you're open for improvement. You're open to hear new ideas.
You're open to take criticism. You're open to learn from someone that you didn't think could teach you anything.
Exactly. You're open to playing number 2 instead of playing number 1. Because sometimes in the vision, that's what it's going to call you to do. What's better for the vision?
Yep. And that's the hard part, man. People always want to be number 1. Always number 1. Sometimes you got to be number 2, 3, 4, 5. Come off the bench. Sometimes you got to come off the bench.
And this is a team effort. That's what I'm saying. You live in a world. You're not living in a bubble by yourself. Or maybe you are. It's time to get out that bubble. Because there's a huge world out here full of great people. It's not just terrible people out here. Got great people. You got more good in people than I believe you got evil in them. But we just got to help people to see. Help people to understand. And when you start developing that type of culture, man, then you start to see the kingdom of heaven. Then you start to see the love of Christ, the peace of Christ. And that's what a lasting vision is going to do. It's a blessing to humanity. It helps humanity. It brings people together. It encourages people. It helps people to heal, to move forward, to let go. That I know that's what we're working with over here.
Yeah.
You can't come into this church, into this work, and not catch a blessing. Not catch a healing. Some deliverance.
It's true, man. And I agree. There's more good in people. It's just not being shown. People are afraid to show it. So evil looks like more evil's out there. But there's more good. Don't be afraid to show goodness. Don't be afraid to show kindness. Don't be afraid to show love. Don't be able to tell people that Jesus is real and that he died for you and saved you. Don't be afraid. Stand on that word and walk in it and trust the vision that you have in your life.
So look, we're getting ready to close up here. Gonna go to some final comments from Sam and from Jaime, and I'll be back to close it up.
Yeah, so I just want to reiterate what Jaime just said, bro. Like, you can't be afraid to preach the gospel, dog. Like, because that's the most humbling thing you can listen to is the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
To be told that, like, oh, hey, have you ever lied? Oh, bro, I got a major L for you to take because you don't live up to God's law. That's an L right there.
Yeah.
But then you get the biggest W of your life right after that. Is like, hey, this man who was God died for you, bro. Like, for you individually.
Right.
Like, for everything you've ever done. You can be forgiven for it all. All you got to do is, put your faith in it. And then and repent, of course, but bro, that's you take the biggest L of your life right there, and instantly right after biggest W, bro. So
I like that. I like that way of putting it.
Just thankful for God being in my life and Jesus and providing me with a vision, connecting me with like-minded people. He's brought me peace, brought me clarity. So I'm just thankful, and I'm ready to see where this season takes us because I know God's going to bring great things to us.
I'll just say this as we close it. If you really want to see a vision, just start looking at the world through Jesus' eyes.
Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, I ask that you like and leave a comment. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when we drop new content. God bless you.